Hello everyone, welcome to the another lecture from where we are going to start the sequential circuits, and in this particular lecture we are going to understand the concept of sequential circuits. So let us begin. Digital circuits are mainly classified into two types. What are they? They are combinational circuits and sequential circuits. In combinational circuits, we need to remember that the present output. So in the case of combinational circuits, we need to remember that the present output or the output at any time depends upon the input at that particular time. That means the present output depends upon the present input. While in the case of sequential circuits, it is very important to remember that the present output depends upon present input as well as past output. So it is very important to remember this, that in the case of sequential circuits, the present output depends upon present input as well as past output. So when we are using anything from past, we need to have some memory element in the circuit. It is very important here to remember in the case of sequential circuits that here we have combinational circuit because we are saying that the present output depends upon the present input. So this part is combinational circuit, and also we are saying that it depends upon past output. That means we need some memory element in addition to the combinational circuit. So let us see that if there are three inputs and corresponding to them there are three outputs. So this is input and this is output, and we also need some memory element to save the output. So let us connect the memory element over here. So this is the memory element, and whenever we have to use this memory element, we will feed the memory element basically into the input. So this whole circuit forms the sequential circuit. So sequential circuit is basically a combination of both combinational circuit and the memory elements. Now the question arises that what are these memory elements? So there are some circuits that act as memory elements. That means they have the capability to store the data into them. So these memory elements can be flip-flops. These memory elements can be counters. These memory elements can be registers. So these circuits can act as the memory elements. So in the case of sequential circuits, the memory elements are being acted upon by the circuits of flip-flops or the counters or the registers. They act as the memory elements over there. So I hope that the concept of sequential circuits might be clear to you all. So the most important thing to remember about the sequential circuits is that in the case of sequential circuits, the present output depends upon the present input as well as the past output. And when we are using the word past output, that means we need some memory element to store this past output, and these memory elements are being acted upon by basically flip-flops or counters or registers. Any of these circuits can act as a memory element along with the combinational circuit. So this whole combination becomes a sequential circuit. So thank you all.